Many of you have asked why the noise over the right to abortion. Abortion has been legal in India for decades, you say. So why the fuss? What's the problem? Isn't this a Western debate? No, it is not. And here's why. Apart from needless stigmatization, our laws need to catch up and modernize. First, the top court of India is responsible for some seriously mixed messaging.
There is confusion among judges themselves as to what to do. And there's confusion in society. So women are very confused as to what to do. And they're getting conflicting advice, legal advice from different people as to what they can or cannot do. So it's not a good situation. It's better than before.
In August 2017, the Supreme Court delivered its historic right to privacy verdict and interestingly held that the right to abortion is part of this right to privacy. In other words, a woman was free to decide whether she wanted to carry a pregnancy or seek an abortion, and this was her private choice. But then, in July 2018, a different bench of the same court rejected a plea by a woman who was 25 weeks pregnant. The woman said that she's a victim of domestic violence and was seeking separation from her husband, but the court did not accept her petition for an abortion, observing that aborting a healthy fetus is akin to murder.
The fact that the Supreme Court is talking like this or is thinking like this, even though it's not writing that, and the same court from where the right to privacy judgment has come and a number of other judgments before that have come, which have identified and acknowledged women's reproductive rights, women's right to health generally, right to life generally. It is very disturbing that suddenly now you are not willing to look at the woman who's standing in front of you as the human being who has rights and instead choose to talk about the fetus, which is not even a person yet.
This confused signaling by the Supreme Court is not the only problem with the law. Under the Indian Penal Code, a woman who attempts an abortion herself is potentially a criminal. I bet you didn't know that, and nor did I at first. But the IPC actually says that if a miscarriage is induced for any reason but saving the life of a woman, it is punishable with a jail sentence from 3 to 7 years. Now juxtapose this with the harsh truth. 78% of 15.6 million abortions took place outside of any health facility in 2015. Most of these were medical abortions. What does this mean? It means that millions of Indian women are actually taking abortion into their own hands and can be treated as criminals by the law.
The abortion law protects the doctor from the Indian Penal Code. So all the abortion law does is it says, I can do an abortion and not be prosecuted under the Indian Penal Code, but if I wasn't a doctor and I was anyone else, I would be prosecuted and punished under the Indian Penal Code. For the first time in human history, millions of women have become their own providers. For the first time in human history, women are doing abortions themselves. We have to recognize this. And the first thing the law needs to do is either decriminalize abortions or at least decriminalize it for the woman.
And finally, we're a country in denial about the fact that young adults under the age of 18 might be having sex and yes, might get pregnant. And while of course abortion is not contraception and cannot be used interchangeably as contraception, we cannot turn our gaze away from the truth. And the truth is this, that the POCSO Act actually treats all pregnancies under the age of 18, even if from consensual sex, as a consequence of sexual assault. This means that if a 17-year-old walks into a doctor's clinic and wants an abortion, the doctor is obliged legally to report that to the police. Because of this, many doctors are hesitant to perform the abortion.
A lot of children in the age group 16 to 18 are having sex these days, and I think quite legitimately so. It's time we consider the age of, the minimum age for having sex. So the POCSO Act, that provision which requires a doctor to immediately tell the police on fear that the doctor would be punished for not reporting has to be re-looked again, and a gentler provision is needed to be brought in. Something else that doesn't criminalize sex in the age group 16 to 18.
The gap in the law is the failure to see abortion as fundamentally a woman's right to choose. In the meantime, 10 women in India die every single day because of unsafe abortion. That figure is on us if we do not start talking honestly about abortion and the amendments the law needs. Let's talk abortion. My body, my choice.